On May 12th, we have the Scorpio Full Moon at 22 degrees of Scorpio in your chart, and it means it's time to face something head on. It is time to look at a fear, a shadow, an intense emotion, and face it in a way that brings about new emotional enlightenment and understanding. The journey of Scorpio is one of personal emotional enlightenment, where you're able to understand what's operating within you at a deeper level and face it, even if it's scary, even if it triggers you and brings up things you'd rather not sit with or understand. But it's through that discomfort, it's through those fears that you're able to get a new understanding of what's really going on and then how to evolve it so that it's not limiting you or holding you back. You could also see the Scorpio full moon as a time of greater self-empowerment, where you understand what you need to change and approach from a new level of empowerment. So I feel that with this Scorpio full moon, it signals where we are ready to make a change. And you might surprise yourself here, because the full moon at 22 degrees of Scorpio is opposing the sun at 22 degrees of Taurus and Uranus at 26 degrees of Taurus. And so in these two areas of your chart, where you have that 22 degrees of Scorpio and then the 22 degrees of Taurus, the earth is shaking, your soul is rumbling for change and evolution. These are fixed signs, and the fixed signs are about stability, consistency, what is known, what is reliable. And here's a cosmic push that takes you into new territory and wants you to see that change can be a good thing. And in fact, it's opening you up to more that you didn't see before. Scorpio is where we can be holding intense feelings, pain, rage, anger. It's where you can be harboring this growing collection of feelings that you push aside and you don't want to look at. But this is a full moon of working with those parts of your energy. And I feel too that there's a strong enlightenment potential here, where you change some patterns or habits. You see, you know what, I could do that differently. I don't have to be afraid of that, or I don't have to perhaps see something in only one light. I can see it from a whole different angle. And that could be the push that the universe is giving you at this time. The Scorpio full moon can bring up more of our feelings and more that we've kept out of sight, out of mind. But as you know, with a full moon, you're meant to see something for what it is. There's strong illumination here. And it shines a light on where we also have untapped power. And also, I'm feeling too like part of what this full moon is doing at this time is pushing us into more of our intuitive nature that we have disconnected from, and to call in more of our intuitive abilities that work with how we manifest our life and how we create a life that's good for us, which is the Taurus energy. So how I'm seeing it and how I'm hoping to describe it for you is that as that moon reaches its peak fullness, it's in exact opposition to the sun, and every full moon is a time of new alignment between two areas of your chart. and in this case, the Scorpio and the Taurus areas of your chart, are reaching a new peak alignment, but you have to see something for what it is. And this is where that Scorpio energy is very all or nothing. And it's where you can decide, I'm completely done with that. I'm completely over that. This is dead to me. I don't want this. And I feel that part of the alignment is in establishing what is worthy of your time, energy, and I'm seeing it as like a power force, if that makes sense. It's like this understanding of, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to put energy into. This is where my power is best directed. And this is where it's not. And so something gets removed with a Scorpio full moon. So there's this realignment. And because of that alignment, there's a purging and removal. And that is a death. Not necessarily literally, it can be a figurative death. It can be a part of yourself that you're no longer putting energy into. It can be a shift in consciousness around what you invest in and what you want. I'm just seeing this as a powerful realignment that might make something abundantly clear to you that you've been denying or pushing away or resisting, because you're meant to see something in the light of that Scorpio full moon. You're meant to face something, and that could be in yourself, that could be in another person, that could be in the world. The full moon is also about what has been out of balance. And so that could be part of your awareness of what part of your life or what part of your world has been out of balance, what part of yourself has been out of balance. And when I see this realignment, we're meant to be honest, very, very honest with ourselves about what we desire and what we want. And that's also part of this axis between Taurus and Scorpio, is what do you really want? What matters to you because it's valuable? It means something to you. You know, it's something that really aligns with where you're going in this life. And I feel like again, there's going to be some things that people realize that they're like, you know what? I don't even want that anymore. I don't even need that anymore. I'm done with that. I'm pushing it out to the curb. You know, I'm just doing a big turnover here because I have a new understanding of what matters in my life and what doesn't. And, you know, when we look at the energy of May is also when we are understanding more of how we don't have forever on the planet, right? And we only have as much time as we're given, and we don't even know how long that is. So what adds value to your life? What do you really want? And allow yourself to recognize what you're done with. And so for many people, there's going to be turning points here. And I'm thinking about how also in the middle of May, Jupiter in Gemini squares the nodes of fate, the north node in Pisces, the south node in Virgo. And that Jupiter in Gemini is signaling to you where the energy lifts you up, where you feel a sense of, yes, that is lighter. I feel more freedom heading in that direction. But the square to the south node in Virgo is also where you feel responsibility. You've got to take care of things. You've got to organize it. It's sort of like that Pisces energy is where you just want to be gone and head off and, you know, have that vacation or escape somewhere. But the south node in Virgo is where you have duties and obligations and things you have to take care of. And I feel like we're going to have some new revelations here around what really is important. And with this particular full moon in Scorpio working with the north node in Pisces through a trine, and the south node in Virgo through a sextile. I think people are going to be like reshaping parts of their reality to fit with what really matters to you now. And there could be surprises here, okay? Surprising announcements, some things coming up that you're like, I never thought that person would say that, or I didn't realize I would want that. But this is a trajectory shift that's ultimately meant to be for your best and highest good. So be in your power with your choices. Choose it for yourself. Choose it because you understand that's what is aligning for you now. And this particular full moon can also bring up the financial energies in a bigger way too. And that's because the Taurus energy is what we own, what we make, what we gather, and how we stabilize our lifestyle. It's your salary, your savings. And then the Scorpio energy is what you share with others, where you have your loans or debts or credit card payments. It's where you have obligations to others, whether that's to other people or to financial institutions. So there could be a shuffling here and a reset in your finances and understanding, I've put too much money over there. I need to do this. I need to cut back in one area so that I have more money over here. There might be things unfolding that feel outside of your control, and you're realizing, well, this is what I can manage. This is what I can control. So there's going to be changes in the financial energies, personally and globally. And I feel too like this is going to bring us back into more of what we really want in our lives, like what it means to you to live a good life. It's interesting because I feel that there's more cutbacks happening. There's more changes happening in the financial markets that are jolting. So it could be a time when it's just natural to conserve more. It feels like there's people who are conserving more. So Scorpio full moon, May 12th, realigning powerfully with what you want, being clear on what you don't want, being very honest with yourself about what you need to face and look at, and allow it to be a transformational gift. Something that you're saying, this is what's true for me now, and I'm going to honor it. I have a separate video for you here on YouTube going through the Scorpio full moon chart, so please check that out if you want more specifics and more details. And as always, you're looking at 22 degrees of Scorpio in your chart for where the changes and revelations are showing up for you now.